Welcome back to Chat with the Chamber, the official podcast of the Campbell County Chamber of Commerce. This episode is brought to you by our generous sponsor, Coffee Beanery.
Yeah.
So, welcome to Chat with the Chamber. My name is Tracy Matthews, and today we're talking with Pastor Ron Whitehead with International Pathfinder Camporee. So, welcome, Ron. I appreciate having you.
Oh, I love being here.
I love having you here.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to talk to you a little bit as we get closer to Camporee. What should our community be preparing for? I know some of this,
right,
but people haven't been paying attention.
Well, yeah, we're busy with our lives, and what's new? What we do is what's in front of us. But the Camporee's coming August 5 to 11. So just to give you a concept, on Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. at the main stage area out there by Camplex, we're offering a community night. So the community come out for free, and we're going to have some fun with the elected people, with a ventriloquist, and we have some other things happening with the evening program. We'll do that recreation of the story and Moses, and it's kind of fun. Just bring your lawn chairs or some kind of chair. You don't want to sit on the ground. Depends on the weather. You might want to bring a little coat or blanket or something. Maybe your own munchies, or bring a pizza. I don't know what you want to bring. But come out and enjoy the evening 90-minute program.
I am so excited. I've seen pictures of your nighttime program, and as a community theater geek, the props, the performance, I'm so looking forward to this.
Yeah. You know, the sets are being designed in Las Vegas, Texas, Seattle, Washington. So we have to merge about 26 different semi-trailers to come to Gillette all at the same time so we can build this stage.
That's such an amazing feat. One of the first things I had learned was the average show for a Camplex is 4 semi-trailers.
Oh.
Your show is going to be 26 semi-trailers.
Just for the set design. Then you have audio-visual. That's another 20. And the screens that were coming in. We have the best screens in the world coming. It's the company that takes care of Taylor Swift and others. They're bringing these high-quality, the world's best screens in. And because they love the whole Pathfinder thing, taking care of kids, give them good values, mentor them, give them some hope for their future. And so all the Pathfinder leaders are volunteers from all over the world. And so this company says, we'll bring in the best screens in the world because we like your event.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, saved a lot of money, which makes me very happy.
So talk to me about the influx of visitors during International Pathfinders Camporee, the impact to the local infrastructure, including roads, public transportation, and utilities.
Great question. I live in a 3-stoplight town, right, in Michigan. And there's twice a year not everybody in the community, but a few in the community make a lot of, the lines at the store are longer. I have to wait longer at the stoplight, the 3 stoplights. And it's when graduation happens. I'm in a university town. I teach at a university. And so it's disruptive. But you know what? It's just a long weekend. The graduation's over. And it actually benefits us when we look at what the university brings to our community and what the graduation represents. And so most people are very excited when it comes, and they're okay when it leaves, you know. And I think our community here will be similar. It's a world-class event coming to our community. I'm told by reporters around the state of Wyoming who've called and interviewed me that with the Camporee numbers and the local numbers, it might be the largest city in the state of Wyoming for 6 days.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. It's kind of I find that Gillette, Wyoming likes to do things big and well, and that's one thing that attracted us. This, encouraged us to come here, and we love it that this community highlights taking care of its young people and its seniors. If you look at both ends of the life spectrum, you have this amazing senior center, and when you walk in there, it feels like you're in a high-star hotel kind of thing. But then how you take care of young people, they have to learn to swim. The Constitution, I love that. They have to learn the Constitution through the educational system, the swimming. And then I love the Yes House, for kids that are just they found they're in a gap. This community takes care of those kids too.
Yeah.
Oh, back to your question though. I wandered a little bit. What can you expect? Well, here's how. About a year and a half ago, we put out a top 10 list. 10 things you might want to think about preparing from the community perspective before we arrive. And some people valued that list, and then some people says, I don't want to be told what to do. Well, we want to be responsible as a large event. I'll give you some examples. Like I was at Walmart this morning in Albertsons. I met David, the manager of Walmart, and I met Ryan over at Albertsons. And we've been planning for a year, working together about how to accommodate the community as well as the Camporee. One of the best things you could do, even before when the graduation weekend comes to my community, is that we go to the grocery store early. We just get some things we want, what we like, get it early, before the crowd shows up. So our community, my little tip here today is you might want to think about medicines, medications, don't stand in any lines, I would encourage you to get some things early. Also, you have to remember, Gillette, Wyoming, many people driving in is not used to not having gas stations every single exit, and exits are only like 4 or 5 miles apart. Here, we're in the West, right? So exits are far apart and gases. So when they come to this community, I'm expecting a lot of the vehicles coming are going to need fuel. So why not get your fuel before Camporee comes? Not that you can't get fuel during Camporee week, but just fill everything up and just be done with that. So just use common sense, really. As a large event comes, or bad weather's coming. We all live through snowstorms. I grew up part of my life out here in Colorado, and we holiday a lot in Wyoming. And sometimes you don't know when a bad storm's getting, but sometimes you do know, you can kind of get some things ready at the house, So.
Yep. So one thing I want to talk to you about, and you and I have had this conversation personally, but and you were gracious enough to share it at that very first luncheon you did for the chamber. But there's a reason specifically that you picked Gillette, Wyoming. And so I want to hear a little bit from an outsider's vision, because I feel like we take a lot of what we have for granted here in Gillette. And so talk to me a little bit about that decision-making process and what brought you to Gillette.
Yeah. If you're watching, you're a business person, how does a world-class event come to this community? How'd that happen? Well, one of my staff is at a small convention, which means it's a market asking other events to think about them as an option. So there's an employee of mine that went there, and he had a bag, and he got a folder, and then we all know COVID eventually happened, slowed down the world. So he's sitting at the office during COVID and reading the brochure. And he says, Pastor Ron, I'd love to go see Gillette, Wyoming. I've Google Earthed it and all this. They have this Camplex place, and they have all this support in the community. And okay, I said, get out of the office, go. So he went out here, saw it, got an excellent presentation from the business leaders of the community and electeds back in that day. This is over 4 years ago now, before Camporee here, 2024. And they came back and they told me, you got to come see this place. So I did. I came out right away within a couple weeks of getting the report. I met with more leaders in the community, and with the invitation of the state, the county, the city, and everything, we gave it a lot of consideration, went through a committee process. And I don't know how it works in committees that you're a part of, but in my committees, rarely is anything unanimous. Rare. In fact, people vote no just because they don't want it to be unanimous. I don't know why they do that, but they do. But every two committees I had to go through the process, going through the invitations and analyzing the facilities. And, you have an amazing hospital here. We have 100 different things that we look at to see how they measure up before we move a world event like this. Your hospital system, your facilities, well-maintained, the recreational facilities, your road system, infrastructure. I could just go on and on. Your restaurants, Betty and I, my wife, we love a lot of your restaurants. And of course, Soulmates, where I bought this shirt because the airline lost my shirt. So Betty sent me to Soulmates to get this one. And it's a community that offers everything. And it's a special community. The friendliness, the ice cream cafe, you have 2 ice cream places actually. The business leaders have been very engaging. I think a prime rib the owner there and his boys, and I don't know, they cater for us. Every time we bring tours here for the last 4 years from all over the world, every single person that came on tour last 4 years, once they see everything, the community and everything, they fall in love with the community. There's so much to fall in love. I call it the 5-star community. It really is.
Thank you. Coffee Beanery has got you covered with a wide range of options to choose from. It's the perfect spot to start your day or take a midday break. So, I pay attention to sometimes on Facebook some negative comments that say, there's no way we can pull this off. What would be your answer? How would you like me to respond to those people that say, this is going to be terrible for our community and there's no way we can get it done?
Yeah, I think those people are sincere in their expressing concern or fear or both. But there's a phrase my dad used to use, people are down on what they're not up on. And that's why I'm really thrilled to be a part of the podcast here at the Chamber, is because we want to communicate what the event is, the benefits it offers the community. There's people from all over the world coming, over 100 countries. It's going to introduce them to not just the state of Wyoming, but the community of Gillette. And I know I got a call yesterday from a young person asking, can I meet a real live cowboy? And I said, yeah, you can. And another kid from another part of the world says, can I see a horse? Believe it or not, a horse. And then they asked me about buffalo. Can I see a buffalo? And so the person that has the concern, I can understand that. And it will be different for 6 days. It is different for 6 days. But the benefit and the value of what it brings to town, not just cash, but the global image and the imaging and we're all trying to diversify our economies in all these small cities. I know my small town is. We're looking beyond just what we've always had as a blessing, but we're looking at new ways to. And Gillette is perfectly positioned between two major tourist places, Yellowstone and the Black Hills. And what a great place to stop over, spend some time in the community, do a coal mine tour, or the auto museum in town, of course, the Rock Pile Museum, great restaurants.
Rec Center?
The Rec Center, just what do you say about that? In your size market, in our research where I work at the university, Andrews University, I put graduate assistants to explore this. You might be aware, maybe not. You have one of the top 3 rec centers in all of North America, right here in Gillette, Wyoming. And I keep hearing if you're over 70, you get to go free or something.
Something like that.
I heard that.
I haven't.
It might change. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
I'm almost there. I've
Yeah.
almost got my free ticket.
Exactly. Well, we're all headed there. Eventually, we'll all be there. But another example of how the community takes care of people at both ends of the age spectrum, kids and adults, older adults. It speaks well of the community. Have you seen the artwork around town?
Yeah.
All the installations of the creative art. I love out the school. What's it called? The school right there on Main Street.
Are you talking Twin Spruce?
It's a business that has a lot of, it's called Schools.
Oh, Teacher's Corner Kids
Teacher's
Mart.
Corner. Walk out of that is a little duck guy handing a duck some food, and then behind him, somebody's biting his bottom. It's the best. I took a picture of it yesterday when I was in town. And I sent it to all my friends. I said, you got to come to Gillette and see all the artwork, all the installation of art. There's just so much positive about Gillette, Wyoming. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
With its location, what it offers visitors. And I just think it's underrated. If I could mention one more thought.
Yeah.
4 years ago, when we started looking at this place, when you had a lady mayor here, she was interviewed by some public media outlet. And as they do, they edit it to say, I don't think she said everything quite the way she said it, but they edit to give the impression it said, Gillette's going away, it's dying, it's not going to be, but it was a very negative kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Well, there was a great concern by some of my friends in the business community here and even elected individuals that image would affect the Camporee coming. It had the opposite effect, actually. when Pathfinder saw the negative story, they said, "Oh, we want to go there. We want to leave some cash there. We want to leave some goodwill there. We want to do some community service. That's where we want to go."
I remember because I was in the room at Camplex when Jess got the phone call from you that you were coming to Gillette, and I filmed the whole thing.
Well, did you?
Yes, and you saying if there's something Camporee could do to help benefit this community, that's where we want to put our money.
That's right.
And I'm so appreciative of that sentiment, but also I'm so appreciative that you are bringing a world-class event to our community.
Yeah.
And if we do it well, if we stand by what we say we're going to do for Camporee, the opportunities that opens up for our community. Because I know that you read our newspaper. I know that you've been paying attention to what's happening with our thermal coal.
Right.
And that is important to our community, and we want to keep it. We don't want to see that go away, but we don't have control over that.
Right.
And so this, in my opinion, is the perfect way to start bringing a new industry into our community to take some of the burden off of coal.
Yes.
And I like to view it that way.
I agree. I think tourism, a lot of communities live very well off of tourism, whether it's sports tourism or event tourism. Where we left, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, before we came out here, they build themselves as a community as the activity or event. I think they call themselves the event community. Of course, they run, the world's largest air show, arguably between France and they had 666,000, I think, people there last year. We loved working with them. We had a great time there. But we were there 20 years. It was good to try something new. And when we saw Gillette, its fixed assets, the friendliness of the people, its value system, it's just a perfect match because we're a youth event, a kid event. And 98% of everybody that runs it is volunteers. They take their vacation time, their own finances to get the kids here. And young people are thrilled to come. And they can't wait, like I say, to see different animals. Some of them grow up in urban settings. They've never seen the stars like they'll see here. But it's the right place. Gillette is a special, it really is a very unique, special community. It's self-reliant. It's got a hard work ethic to it. But it also has a big heart. If somebody's down and out and something's not working in somebody's life, this community steps in. Especially if the person that's compromised is willing to step forward a little bit too. Then there's great support behind. And I see that. I've watched I get up, here's how I do it. Being a pastor type, you'd expect me to say, I have my devotional time in the morning, right? And then right after that, I read, is the Cowboy Daily News, what's it called? Cowboy?
There's Cowboy Daily that's published in Casper, and
Yes.
then our Gillette News Record.
Yes. And I read both, by the way, just so you know. But I do start with the statewide, gives me a statewide perspective. And then I, of course, always read what's going on in Gillette. But I don't know. What do I say? It's a beautiful community. And it takes care of its own. It has a vision for itself. I think the Camporee will give this community a chance to show off that if you can do a Camporee, a world event like this, you can always scale it back and offer other organizations, RV, whatever, say, look what we did here. It can't help but benefit the long-term diversification of the finances of the community. And we're happy to be a part of that, by the way.
Visit Coffee Beanery today and enjoy cozy atmosphere and friendly service. Located right here in Campbell County, it's the community's favorite spot for quality coffee and tasty meals. So I want to talk about some of the exciting things that you're bringing to our community. You're doing world records.
Yes.
You're going to have a drum line.
Yes.
You're going to have a parade.
Yeah, well, at the Camporee, we were going to do one downtown, but instead of putting the dollars into the downtown parade, right through Main Street there, we decided let's put all the assets, it's about $60,000, into doing a program at Camp Lake so they can actually see the stage and the property that has been set up for future large events. Yeah.
And so let's talk about this world record.
Oh, yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
We have three. You ready?
Three?
We have three.
Okay.
We don't, not one, but I'll tell you, to be honest and transparent, can we do that right here on the podcast? We wanted to work with Gillette Razor Company, okay? about it's Gillette, Wyoming, Gillette Razor Company, and having a new world record about the people, the earliest shavers, the first people to shave. We had some ideas about it. We just couldn't get the traction and the sponsorship on that. I don't know what happened. We tried. So then we went to plan B for Gillette, doing a world record in the community. We had it all approved by Guinness World Records. I can't say Guinness because they don't want you to talk about it. But a world record organization that you might know of out of England, that we had it all approved, that if we pull a train, an engine, so many feet, we wanted to do that with the Pathfinder kids and the community kids, but we couldn't find an engine. We ran out of that. So here's our current world records. That's the two we tried for. And went, who knows? We're back in 29, so let's go at it again. But this particular time, the first one is the tent, the 4-man tent. Get it up faster than anybody else in the world. So we have that going on. We do have a Lego master going on, the world's largest Lego wall kind of thing going on. We'd have another thing, postcards, believe it or not. I thought it was not such a good idea because who does postcards? But Pathfinders around the world are mailing postcards in. We hope to break a world record here about postcards. And then there's another Lego activity. So, but my favorite, well, they're all, if you're watching, running those activities, those are great. But I have to say one of my favorite world records, is the backpack. We're going to put backpacks, school backpacks together faster than anybody else in the world is the goal. We have a special tent for it. We have all the supplies coming in. After we break the world record, being positive, we're going to break it. We're going to give the backpacks, of course, to the community. So when we leave, we'll leave that because school's starting soon after we leave with Camporee. We'll just give that to the community to disperse however they want.
Thank you for your generosity. There's so many people in our community that can't afford those school supplies. So appreciative of that. And I know that you have to go soon, but there's two things I wanted to touch on really quickly, and that's the volunteerism,
right,
and the mountain bikes. What's happening to the mountain bikes?
Yeah, we got two updates. Unlike the rodeo runs on volunteerism coming out of the community to the Camplex. Ours is a little different because we have minors. Our age group is basically 9 to 16 is the target age group. Every Pathfinder clubs with a ratio about 1 to 3, 1 to 5, adult to kid. So it's highly supervised that way. But we don't, because they're minors and we have to have background checks. We're in a different world than we were years ago. And everybody that has association with the kids outside of a public setting has to have background checks. We background check every adult that comes. It's just the world we're in. And so we have that screening. So we appreciate, many people came forward and said, hey, we'll volunteer. But how you can help us with the community service projects. We have thousands of kids every day going into the community. And there's community service projects when the kids get off the bus. I know you might have heard about those service projects. That's kind of fun. But we don't really need help as we do for rodeo, because I come to rodeo almost every year. But we do value support in different ways in public settings. Maybe you can help out with a pizza delivery. Every pizza place that is on the planet around Gillette, there'd be clubs ordering pizza all the time. And so a tip is if you like pizza, forget ordering to have it delivered to the house. Order frozen pizza, put it at the house, and that's how you're going to do it for our week that we're here. But they can help with delivery. There's a lot of money to be made in a lot of different ways. Taxis, Ubers. I mean, there's thousands of people coming from different parts of the world, like Germany. They're flying into Denver and then coming up. And like I said, I met with our food support people and Albertsons, Smith's, and of course Walmart. But we want to be, they're going to need help and support. And there's another option. And I run world events all over the world. You could actually rent out, or some people have been gracious enough to donate some housing or something to help with the medical teams and the activity teams, stuff like that. But they leave town, actually. So for 7 days, like Indianapolis 500, it's the largest in-person spectator event in the world. I have friends that run that. Everyone with housing around that event, many will rent out their lawns for parking or just give it away. And then they go out of town for a while and they come back and it came and went. So it's just another approach to do. But we need a lot of people to stay in town because we need a lot of services and support. I was at Albertsons, of all the flowers that are over there, and Pathfinders love to give flowers to their leaders. There's anniversaries. You can think out of 60,000 people, there's a lot of anniversaries, birthdays, things like that going on. But back to the bikes, we're trying to leave as much money in the community as possible. As a bike shop here in town, we've been working with, and I think we're getting 70, 80, I heard new number, $90,000 worth of bikes from his shop. We appreciate working with him. He's been great to work with. But that would be another example of some of the things that we're purchasing in town.
So when you leave the community, what happens to those bikes?
Yeah, those bikes they're pre-sold to youth camps all over North America. So these youth camps are doing things for kids, and we're pre-selling them to those youth camps all over North America.
So is there anything else that you wanted our community to understand about this event that I haven't asked you about?
Maybe this. As you think of the event, don't let these numbers scare you because they're big numbers and hard to get your head around. If you go down to the Bronco Stadium in Denver, it's about 71,160 seats in there. We're bringing 60,000 to the camp. And the two load-in days, if you ever go to a Bronco Stadium event, it just takes a while to get in there and settle the traffic and everything. And then when the game's over, where you watch millionaires go back up and down, you're done with watching them, and you got the parking lot. It takes a while to get out and things. So much like that, it's going to be Monday. Here's the numbers: 40,000. We estimate about 40,000 will arrive on Monday after 8 a.m. Anytime until midnight. There'll be people coming in from all over the world. And then Tuesday, it's all morning until the afternoon at 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock Tuesday, let me give you the number. Tuesday's about 20,000. So about 40 on Monday, 20 on Tuesday. And at 5 o'clock, the road in front of the Arbuckle Hotel, between Camp Lakes, is going to be closed for 4.5 days, which would be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and if you count part of Tuesday. But here's how it happens. Saturday night, when the program's over at the main stage area, people pack up and pack out all through the night. And then when you go to church Sunday morning, on the 11th of August, you'll go out to Camp Lakes and 98% of everybody's gone. It comes pretty rapid and it exits very fast.
And another thing I think people aren't understanding is the youth mostly will stay on the campus of the Camplex. Mm-hmm. They'll go out on different excursions, but not all 50,000. So you're not going to have 50,000 out in the community. You're going to have 50,000 at Camplex.
Yeah, good point.
And I think that knowing that, it certainly alleviated some of my stress I had about the event, that they're not all going to be in the community at the same time.
That's right. No, most of the activities for the Pathfinders will be on-site, Camplex site. We love the building facilities. We love the grandstand, Morningside. I've come to the rodeo the last few years to watch it and see. Went to the high school graduation a few weeks ago, watching the traffic flow. But yeah, no, they're not off-site all over the place. There is a percentage of 8 to 9,000, maybe 10,000 Pathfinders every day coming in doing community service and activities like at some of our great sports activities. Like the Brazilians, when they saw your sports field out by the splash pad area, and the caretaker out there explained the different layers and how much was invested in it. When they heard all that, they thought it was beautiful to begin with. But I watched them, the Brazilians, they get down on their knees and they kiss the sports field, the pitch field out there. Say, oh, we want to play here. We want to play Pathfinders from all over the world, right here. So they're all excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But that 8 to 9,000 number that you discussed, that's real similar to what kind of traffic we see in our community when rodeo is in town.
Oh, okay.
That's about 12,000 visitors.
Right.
So that's what we would see in our community anyways.
Right.
So I think that could help alleviate some stress factors for some people.
It could. And we have a shuttle bus service. We're working with the school department, so a lot of these kids will board shuttle buses and move into the recreational activities or the community service activities. Yeah. So but there'll be some personal cars and vehicles coming back off Camplex into the community, but no, the 60,000 won't be, no, they won't be into the community every day. No, not at all. No.
So I think that's good for the citizens to know, for the community to know.
Yes, that's good. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, what is a camporee? Anytime you do something new, how do you get your head around it? You might want to go to the camporee.org website. It has a lot of details. Camporee.org, camporee.org. There's even a newsletter you can sign up for free. There's about 55,000 people subscribe to that right now. It tells you about all the details of the camporee. If you like details, that would give you everything that we send out to the leaders, how we prepare for safety issues. Our medical team of 50 tells you about all the safety things that we talk about. Hail and wind is a concern, and we have contingency plans and all, how to get hard shelter for that. And so, in the community, again, 5-star community, working with all the agencies. We love your hospital, the staff there, the leadership there, the professionalism there. We didn't expect to find in a community of 33,000, nor did we expect to find the recreational facilities or even Camplex. We thought it might be, something so run down or something, because we take events all over the world, different places. But actually, I see in the paper, and everybody wishes Camplex was a little nicer, a little this. But when you compare it around the world, it's pretty nice. It's very nice, actually. And to have the theater there, we have an orchestra coming around the world. The South Africans are coming with their instruments. And then, of course, we have South Korea coming with theirs. And they do online rehearsals. So we have an orchestra, a choir, and all that kind of thing taking place at Camplex on the main stage. But to have a theater, as an orchestra pit where we can keep the instruments, we've never been able to have an orchestra at any other location anywhere in the world except Camplex. I'm sorry, Gillette, Wyoming, at Camplex. Why? Because we have Camplex, that beautiful theater we have out there.
Yeah. Well, I know you have to run. I know you have a Zoom call that you have to get on. But thank you so much for your time. Mm-hmm. I appreciate you sitting down and talking with me. And then for all you international travelers, the Chamber just wants to say, welcome to Gillette, Wyoming.
Yep. And we love Gillette, Wyoming. We do. We do. We love, people can't wait to come to Gillette, Wyoming from all, and nobody knew, this is terrible to tell you, but the same thing happened in Wisconsin. We were over there. We'll advertise, we're all going there, and they say, where's that? And where's Wisconsin? Where's Wyoming? Well, have you ever heard of this association, like Yellowstone or Devil's Tower or Black Hills? Oh yeah, we know where it is. So they're excited about coming. And I want to thank the community, the business community for sure, because we're at the Chamber. And like a sponsor like this makes this thing happen that we're a part of right here. And chambers are important to communities and visitor bureaus. And you have both. You have outstanding support for this community. We see it. It's extraordinary. Of course, you're a part of that and others like you. So, yeah, we can't wait to see you in August 5 to 11, 2024.
So, Pastor Ron, it sounds like there are a couple people that you wanted to thank in our elected community.
Yeah, people that are elected to serve the community and complement the community's goals, visions, and support. We found at the commissioner level, also at the city level, outstanding support. And I could mention, Dale has been with us since 4 years ago. I understand we're losing him after this year, but he's been an outstanding visionary leader of this community from our perspective. And then I'm thinking also, this is our third mayor, the original mayor and then an interim mayor. And now, what the kids call him at the tours, that he comes out and does updates about the community at our tours over the last 4 years. They call him the full-size mayor. That's what they call him, full-size, because he's full-size mayor. And you got to come out Sunday night. I hope the community comes out Sunday night for the community night, and we're going to have some fun with the full-size mayor. So I can't tell you what, but you need to come. It's going to be fun.
Awesome.
Yep. So we can't thank the community enough, the fire and EMS and hospital. I mean, I could go through a huge list. Visitor Bureau, Jessica, and of course our chamber. She's offered me the opportunity to talk to the business people once a year for the last 4 years. And that's benefited, I think, Camporee. I talked to the fellow that has all kinds of lifts and forklifts, all kinds of lulls, and he's very happy. I guess we're using a lot of his equipment.
Good.
And a lot of other business people are happy, and we're happy about that. But we don't want to leave just cash. We want to leave some goodwill.
I love it.
There you go.
Thank you for choosing us.
Oh, thank you for choosing us.